Anybody that's done a lot of trout fishing, particularly in lakes, will tell you how good the Tassie Devil lure is. Now, in case you're wondering what the Tassie Devil is, the Tassie Devil, or Tasmanian Devil, is a winged lure designed by Wigstons Lures in Tasmania, and they've been very, very popular for a number of years. And now, Wigstons have stepped out of their comfort zone and come up with a couple of new products. They've got Tassie spoons and Tassie blades, and in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Tassie spoons and Tassie blades. Rightio folks, so we've got spoons and blades. That's the packet, that's got a spoon in it. That's a packet with the blade that hasn't got a blade in it because I've used it. But anyway, I still got them here. This is a Tassie Devil blade. Now, they call it a blade, but it's a bladed spinner. So if we can get the focus on there. First thing you'll see is that it's got an odd shape, like a diamond patterned blade that spins around. It's a revolving blade spinner, and they come in two different sizes and a variety of different colours. That's the Tassie blade. Now the Tassie spoon, which is this one here, this is just a classic spoon spinner. There we go. That's a classic spoon spinner, and just like its brother, the Tassie blade, bladed spinner, it also comes in a variety of different colours. Now, how do they go? Full disclaimer before I talk about the review, I haven't used these a lot. These landed on my lap sort of late summer. I went out with my good mate Sandy Hector. You guys might know him as the Camo Man. And we went redfin fishing. We hadn't fished for a long time, way too long. We were just both got so busy and absorbed in our own lives that we just failed to catch up. So a catch up was overdue. We decided not to film. We just went up and went fishing, chewed the fat, and it was just wonderful. But we caught a lot of redfin. Now I used the Tassie blades and the Tassie spoons solo. That's all I used for the afternoon. I'll overlay a few photos over this video as I'm talking, but I've got no video footage, sorry. Right. First of all, I'm going to review the Tassie blades, the bladed spinner. They're good. They come in two different sizes. I'll see if I can bring that up here and show you. They come in 3.8 grams and 5.4 grams. And they come in all those wonderful colours that you can see on the screen there now. Now mine are the 3.8 gram variety. Mine are the lighter ones. They asked me if they could send me a couple, and I said, look, just send me a couple, but send me the smaller ones. Now the smaller ones are a similar size to, say, a Warden's rooster tail, but they've got a bigger blade, a much more robust blade than the sort of willow blade shape of the rooster tail. Now, it worked. I caught fish. It cast about as well as a 3.4 gram lure should cast. Everything went to plan. I had no issues. It spun every time. I was very, very happy with the way it spun. It displaced a lot of water, which means it created a lot of drag, which creates a lot of vibration and can generally bring in fish from further. The downsides to it, I think in some of the streams that I fish, and as you guys know because you watch my videos, some of the streams I fish are only a couple of metres wide. This might be a little too big to work in the really shallow stuff. And the other downside, you'll notice here on the blade, if I can focus on it again, the paint has started chipping off the blade. This has come with that really nice orange and green colour, but the paint has started chipping off the blade. I'm having focus issues. You can see it there, the paint has started chipping off the back of the blade. Now I've only used these once and they didn't land on rocks or anything like that. All they did was end up in redfin mouths. So I never got snagged with them or anything. So it's probably a little bit big for the really small streams, and the paint's going to chip off the blade. They're problems that aren't too bad. In all honesty, I would actually prefer the paint to come off the blade. I've never been a big fan of colourful blades on bladed spinners. You can buy super vibraxes with gold blades, silver blades, copper blades, or painted blades. I always like the shiny metallic. I just think if the water's a bit cloudy, or even in clear water, a reflective blade has the ability to just send a shimmer of light through the water when the sun hits it on the right angle that the fish might see from further away. So I've never been a fan of painted blades anyway, so the fact that the paint has chipped off the blade is not a problem at all to me. If you want a colourful blade, that might be a problem to you, but it's not a problem to me. And look, in most rivers, the Goulburn, the Kiewa, the Midda, the King, the Ovens, wherever you're trout fishing, this will be more than adequate. And I know there have been quite a few trout caught on them, and I've caught quite a few redfin on them myself. I had no trouble at all getting even the small redfin to hit this spinner. So quite a good spinner. I quite liked it. It was really good. Rightio, now let's talk about the Tassie spoons. Once again, the Tassie spoons come in a variety of colours, just the same as the Tassie blades. And I loved these. I caught a lot of redfin on these that day I was fishing with Sandy. They worked very, very well and I had no issues. Unlike the Tassie blades, there's been no damage to the paint. This particular lure here that I'm holding in my hand is the one that done most of the damage for me. And if I can get it to focus, you'll see there that there is no scratches at all on the paint. It's metallic on one side, just like the blade on the spinner is going to be, and it's painted one side and there's been no damage to the paint whatsoever. Now these come in, I could have these numbers, actually I'll have a look. I think it's 7.5 grams and 12.5 grams. 7.5 grams, which is what this is, and 12.5 grams, which is 10 millimeters longer and a lot heavier. I don't know that I'd have a use for a 12.5 gram lure or a trout rod that would cast it because it's quite a heavy lure. But it might be better if you're in lakes with bigger fish. Down in Tasmania where they chase the big trout, that would probably be really good. But for me, these 7.5 gram blades are ideal. Now, these cast a mile. This is probably the second best lure I've ever cast. Second only to the blades, the skinny metal blades that are about 7 or 7.5 grams. They're my favourite lures to cast, but these are a pretty close second. They cast very, very well. They sink at quite a good speed if you want to get down a little bit in depth. And most of all, the fish like them. The fish climbed all over them. Since this stupid COVID lockdown came in, the thing that's been disappointing me the most is I was really looking forward to giving these a swim up at Lake William Hovell. I wanted to do that before I filmed this review, but it didn't happen that way, unfortunately. I reckon the trout will climb all over these. So we've got Tassie blades and Tassie spoons. Of the two items, I think I prefer the spoons. I just think that there's a really, really good market for them. There's a really good spot for them in your tackle box, particularly if you do a lot of trout fishing in lakes. I reckon that would work really, really well in Dartmouth or even Lake Hume in the winter when they've put some trout in there. I'm not sure how it would go trolling. I didn't quite get a chance to do that before the lockdown, but it would be worth a try. But I think you'd have to troll a bit faster, a bit like you do with the Tassie Devils. Tassie blades, Tassie spoons. I love the spoon and I really like the blade, if that makes sense. Now these are owned by Wigstons Lures. I'm a little bit confused here. WigstonsLures.com.au. But I went onto their website to get some information about them and there's nothing on their website about the blades and the spoons. And yet on the packaging it's got WigstonsLures.com.au. So I'm a little bit confused. What I do know is that they are distributed by JM Gillies. Now JM Gillies is one of the biggest fishing tackle distributors here in Australia. So they should be pretty easy to find. JM Gillies distribute Plano. They distribute Maxima fishing line, stump jumpers. So if your local tackle store stocks stump jumpers or Plano tackle boxes, you should be able to speak to them about getting some of these in because that's who JM Gillies is. Righto folks, I'll leave a link below to where you can read up about these a little bit more. Just a quick review. I hope you found it informative. Thanks very much for watching. If you've liked this video, I want to give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.